Big game coverage live from Los Angeles. Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Nearside App, Texas Cheer Liquor, and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It's R&R in the morning. We are glad that you are back with us. We promised him to you. Hall of Famer, a Dallas Cowboy. His name is Mel Renfro, and he's sitting right with us. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. We are coming to you live from Radio Row. We are brought to you, as always, by AA Best Bail Bonds and the best pork rind you could ever have. That's Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. We're also joined by Mark Singleton, he of that company of Rudolph Foods. We're glad you guys are here on Radio Row. Thank you so much for stopping by. And Rudy, we're looking at a gold jacket.
I know. You know what? I'm all kidding aside. This is my first one in person. I've never seen one in person. I've seen them on TV, but I've never seen one in person. So they look good.
Thank you. Feel good.
I know. I bet you look good. You feel good, play good,
That's
whatever
right.
it is.
Mel Renfro sitting down with me. I'm sure as I sit and speak with you, I'm seeing a TV. I'm sitting in my grandparents' house, and I'm watching you play. When I see number 20, I think of you. So forgive me if my Dallas Cowboy upraising kind of gets in the way of this interview, because I'm truly honored to have you here.
Thank you.
As you sit with us today and we get ready for a Super Bowl and you watch where the league has gone and the things that it has done, you were part of the original big-time franchise. You were part of what was becoming the Dallas Cowboys. When you see what they have become and what this league has become, are you amazed? Are you concerned? What do you think the state of the league is for you today?
Well, all of the above, you know, because I've seen it grow. I've seen it have its ups and downs, its bumps. It's a great game. You know, the Cowboys have come a long way since my beginning. I was there when we started to play well and to win and to get into playoffs, and fortunate enough to be in 8 NFC championship games.
Wow.
That's one game away from the Super Bowl. And a great coach, great teammates. And wow, you know, it's just good to be here and watch this, because, you know, I started out back doing this a long time ago.
Well,
to get to this point, it's just good to reflect back and say, wow, all the memories.
Mel Renfro joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star.
How are you enjoying this experience? It's a little. First of all, it's a little cold in here for me.
Yeah, I was asking someone a little earlier about who's got the blankets.
But are you enjoying this experience this week?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, this is probably the biggest I've ever seen it. You know, since I've been coming to the Super Bowl. Even when I was a player, of course, we never got involved in this side of it. But no, it's fantastic. It's just something it's priceless, and you just remember it for the rest of your life.
As far as I always wonder with pro athletes, do you remember the big wins more, or you just brought up you're in 8 NFC championship? Do the wins resonate with you more, or those tough losses that you feel like 1-2 play away? Do those sit with you more?
Yeah, both of them do.
Both,
you know,
okay.
You remember the losses and the bad things, you know, with a heavy heart, but then you cherish and savor the wins and the big games. So it's just all a part of the experience of you know, being a player and being able to experience all these different games and all the different playoffs and all the different wins.
Right.
There are a lot of guys that never play in any of these type games.
Right. Yeah.
It's just wonderful and I've been in many. So I'm just appreciative of that.
Absolutely.
The memories, I think, are so important, both good and bad, so you get the flavor of
Right.
your career. You know, we had Warren Moose sit down with us a little while ago, and he was a bit of a contemporary of yours, right about in the same age as you were finishing. He was getting going. When you look back at the quarterbacks from then and you look at the quarterbacks today, as we look at a young Joe Burrow, he looks a lot like, well, a lot of people are calling him Joe Namath. He has that kind of flair to him. When you look at those quarterbacks and what you played against, what do you see the difference? What made those quarterbacks modern, or are they the same guy, just a different scheme at a different time?
Well, I think it's their athletic ability. You know, there were some guys that were good quarterbacks, but they couldn't move around.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're great pure passers, you know, the Sonny Jurgensons and those type guys. But they couldn't run, and they couldn't do what these guys do nowadays, because it's just remarkable. Not only the physicality, but the intelligence of combing the field and seeing where the open receiver is. You know, they say they go this receiver, that. Wow, that's amazing. And these guys are, especially these quarterbacks that are in the Super Bowl this year, especially the Cincinnati guy.
He can play.
He's scary. You know, he has that, what do you call it? He's just got something that's special.
It's that it factor, Mr. Renfro.
You can't put your finger on.
He is Mel Renfro. This is a quote. My whole game was beating the man in front of me. It was a matter of studying the opponent as well as you can and knowing the tendencies. You had to have the speed, agility, and quickness to get the job done. And obviously you did. Hall of Fame inductee, elected to the College Football Hall of Fame in 86, the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1996. He did all of this at 6 foot, 190 pounds, and he played 174 games. It is hard to comprehend how good you had it, how good you were at the size that you were. I mean, you were always the littlest dog in the fight. Tell us what the mentality that it took to be that great cornerback, to get you in the cornerback into the Hall of Fame, playing against these animals, these beasts that were big.
It's mental toughness.
Right.
You know, it's the ability to sit out there on that corner, just you and him, and don't worry, because you got it covered. I would tell my free safety, go help somebody else. I would. I'd tell Cliff Harris. I said, don't get in my way.
I love it.
Because he got in my way several times. It made me look bad. So I tell him, you go over there and help Charlie or help the other guys. But you know that you have the ability to run backwards.
Right.
Sometimes as fast as guys could run forward. I used to kid Drew Pearson all the time. And he became a good receiver because he worked his stuff on me because he could never take me out of my back pedal. So that's what you got to have. You got to have speed, agility, and you got to study the game and know the game and know the tendencies of the guys you're playing against.
That's the moxie and the swag that DBs have. Like it's just something. And you talked about the it with Joe, but I think you have to have that, and you got to have amnesia at your position. Like, because every now and then you're gonna get beat, but you got to forget about it. But y'all just have a different DBs. Y'all just have a different mentality than everybody else on the field.
I watch some old films every now and then, and me getting beat on something. And I say, I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
See, you got to have amnesia.
Yeah, you got to let it go.
That makes you great.
Right.
We talked about the era that you played in, and your career was done back in 1977, and you achieved everything. As you raise your hands, I see your rings, and I think about the greatness that you brought to the game, but the game didn't bring you greatness when you left. When you left, the NFL wasn't equipped to take care of those athletes that were going on and finishing the rest of their life. They had a lot of living to do, but they took with them the pain and everything that they carried with them. You're sitting here with Mark Singleton with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. So Sunday, for those of you very, very aware, it's Pork Rind Appreciation Day. We're going to eat a lot of pigskins on Sunday, but the pigskins serve a purpose. It's the Gridiron Assistance Funds for folks like y'all.
Yeah.
And Mark, I want you to talk about why we have to do this and what we're doing to help our greats that played football, that showed us and brought us to the era we're in now.
Thank you, Rob.
Hold up. There we go.
Trying to get.
Thank you, Rob. As you know, about 13 years ago, we were lucky enough to meet up with Coach Ditka. And at the time, I had no idea. I thought they all were
So did I.
rich. I thought how could you believe that they don't have the basic insurance coverage? How could you believe that no pension whatsoever? And so when I heard this story, I said, well, that's just crazy. How can we help? And Coach Ditka and Shannon at the time, Karen now, really teamed up with us to get the word out and really use our soapbox to try and educate people about how they can help. Like right now, everybody listening in San Antonio, everybody listening in Texas should go to www.gridirongreats.org and then find out this great story. Find out how we're helping these men that were real heroes to me. I mean, I grew up idolizing Mel.
Absolutely.
And to be able to help in a small way has just been such an experience for us and for all of our people across the country that work with us. They are so proud to help. And these guys have come into our plants. They've met them. Most people never get to meet a Mel Renfro, never get to meet a Kenny Houston.
My first yellow jacket.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's super cool.
And Coach does so much to help, paying for surgeries, paying for medicine, paying for trips to the doctor. All things that most of us take for granted that we at Southern Recipe and at ESPN Sports, thank you guys, can get the word out and help these guys.
And I'm a solution guy, so I won't dwell on it too much, but it shouldn't come to that. It shouldn't have come to that, especially when you see what the NFL is putting on. I thank you, and I'm sure the rest of the guys thank you. But in all honesty, and we don't have to dwell on it, it shouldn't even have to come to this.
Well, Sunday, nothing goes better than pigskins than pigskin. It is the big game. Go get your Southern Recipe small bags, porch rinds. One lucky fan is going to leave with a chance for $5,000 worth of autograph merchandise, pork rinds, more for playing the Great Pigskin Spin Sweepstakes. I'm going to say that again. The Great Pigskin Spin Sweepstakes. This is where you need to go. Pork Rind Appreciation Day, because that's what Sunday is. Mark Singleton, Mel Renfro, thank you so much. We are honored for you to spend time with us. San Antonio thanks you as well. It's been an honor speaking with you.
You're certainly welcome. Glad to be here.
Thank you.